Perfect, and welcome to our second Fantasy Happy Hour NHL DFS one. This is episode 49, I believe, Fantasy Happy Hour. If you watch the last one, we're going to go through our top plays of the night and tell you guys one or two guys, some value plays, between the pipes, which is our goalie pick, some stacks of the night, which will be power play, line combos, however we want to stack certain teams or stack against. And then our happy hour special, our best player of the night, whether that's expensive or not. But yeah, I'll just jump into it. We got 8 games on this slate, Saturday afternoon, first Saturday one. First guy I'm going with is Matt Tkachuk, Flames versus Canucks. Tkachuk's just an all-around, does everything. He'll hit, he'll get you penalty minutes, he'll score, he'll get assists. He's playing the first power play, and he's playing on line with Lindholm and Dubois. I expect them to beat up on the Canucks a little bit. Maybe not by the end of the year, but at the start, I expect maybe Tkachuk to he's going to get away with a bunch of stuff. Once these rivalries heat up, probably not so much, but these first few weeks, he'll take advantage against every team except the Oilers. That one will be heated from the start.
Yeah.
My next one, though, is I'm going Pierre Dubois. He's an absolute pig. They're playing the Predators. So I don't know if that one will necessarily be – the Preds have great defense, but PLD's he's got a decent line with Bjorkstrand and I forget who else is on the line with him.
Domi.
Is it Domi?
I don't know. I haven't looked recently. I thought they were doing Atkinson, Dubois, Domi, but maybe they've moved Bjorkstrand up. Yeah,
I think it's Bjorkstrand. I think it's it's Grigorenko.
Oh, okay. They've done more shifting.
And or that's what it's saying on Daily Faceoff. But the Preds, if they're starting Pecorine, I could see the Blue Jackets pick them apart. I like that as a first start. The Preds they've been kind of on the downward spiral. Although they do have elite defense, they haven't been able to do much the past couple of seasons. Where are you going though with your top plays?
Actually, Dubois was on my list, but maybe I'll just, push it over to say Max Domi in the same game. I kind of like that Columbus side of that puck there. Nashville has been struggling, and the end of last season, they looked pretty bad overall. They were giving up big games too. Like, it wasn't like they were losing close games like they usually do. They were, giving up 5 goals here, like every second game for a bit there. So I think they're just on a downward spiral. So you can look to line stacking here as well, but we can get to that a bit later. But love Columbus on this side of the puck. Went to a D-man here again. I'm trying to look for a top play D-man, and I went Shea Theodore for Vegas against the Ducks. The Ducks are, that team that you probably look to pick on. Maybe we'll see them play that same style where they're kind of playing like trappy style defense again, because they were kind of low scoring last year, even though they lost every game. They
do have a lot of good young guys coming up too.
They do, yeah. I wonder if that maybe shuts down some of the firepower on other teams because they're a little hungrier than what you'd expect, I guess. But I like his matchup here. I think Pietrangelo's there now, and that kind of takes a lot of the energy off Theodore. But Theodore's a high block shot kind of guy. He's going to see tons of power play time. I think he's still up there on power play 1, at least temporarily. And he blocks a lot of shots too for a shooting kind of scoring style D-man. So I see this being a good opportunity. Move over to some value. Let's look to Minnesota against the Kings and what may be one of the worst games of the night, I guess. And from early predictions, maybe it turns out to be great. But Fiala or Kaprizov, both guys coming in, they look to be the line 1-2. And typically these Minnesota guys aren't priced overly high, so I expect them to be value at that price, even though they might be $4 or $5K in that range. That still can be value in some senses if you're playing line 1, power play 1, and you're kind of the scorers on your roster. And then I went to a Leaf here, and this guy plays on line 4, but Wayne Simmons at a price that's going to be super cheap. If he's playing on power play 1 and he's under like 3,500, I'm locking him in because he gets 1 goal and he pays that price off, And when you're on power play 1, I think I just think there's a chance you score, tip something in, get a point. I don't know. So we'll see how Toronto plays this power play, but do you think they're actually going to keep Simmons up there?
We'll see. There's going to be a lot of experimenting over the first few weeks, so as there always is. But for my play, I kept it kind of with you. I had Kirill Kaprizov too. I have it kind of asterisk though because I think they play Thursday against the Kings as well. They play them back to back, and I'm sure then we'll kind of see how it starts and where those kind of if the lineups stay the same or if they shuffle a little bit. But he's slated to be playing with Parise and Bjugstad. Um, so I mean Minnesota. I mean they're always like I don't really watch them because I mean we don't really get their games, I guess. But this one should be interesting. I mean, I feel like he's gonna be cheap the first few weeks, and if he is what they predict he'll be, it's gonna be great value. The other option to watch on the other side of the puck too for value is I don't know if he'll actually make the team, but he's on daily faceoff. Is a Byfield, and he'll be cheap. He's playing. They have him on slate to be on the fourth line with like Trevor Moore, who I do like Trevor Moore, so that could also be like a stacking option too. Because Trevor Moore's, you know, small little guy, works hard and tends to get he'll get you 6-7 points if they get a goal, even better. But they'll be min price, right? So options to look at. For between the pipes here, I went with what I thought was the only option, and depending if he plays it. The one thing we're gonna have to understand is we're not gonna know the starting goalies for a lot of these, so the goalies might get swapped around or they might play back to backs, they might not. So bear with us on some of those. But I went with Peter Mrazek, tentatively playing against the Red Wings. I don't think the Red Wings, I mean, they'll be bad this year. I don't think they'll be maybe as bad as last year, but they'll still be like bottom of 5 teams. So I just don't see them doing much. I expect Mrazek to be priced slightly higher, but with an 8-game slate this early on, there'll be plenty of value picks to splurge on the goalies. And so that's where I went. What about you, Tarin?
I think we both had the same narrative in our head when we went to pick goalies, and that's revenge games. Mrazek gets these old Detroit, and I got the old Vancouver native here in Markstrom, if he plays this game, of course. I think this is Calgary's that low-scoring team that doesn't tend to give up a lot of goals, but Vancouver also shoots a ton. They tend to shoot at a relatively high rate. You're looking for lots of saves, and you're looking for low-scoring games and a possible win here. I see Calgary taking this game and edging it out early in the season. So I think you're going to see the volume in shots, which is important, and you're going to see a win, which is also very important in the goalie stats department. So that's kind of where I leaned with that. My stacks of the night kind of run over there. Carolina 1, I think, is just an easy stack. Again, not very secretive. This is just a good line against a bad Detroit line. Although Larkin line does play a bit of a shutdown role. They tend to play against the top line. Although I just don't think they can shut down this Aho line. This line was one of the best lines in hockey last season. Teravainen put up great numbers. Aho, great player overall. And then I don't know who they're going to throw third. It's usually Svechnikov, but I believe he's not here right now, but maybe he is. But that's where I lean in that game versus Detroit. Ottawa 1 is one of my notes here. Dodonov bringing the heat here against Toronto. So maybe Ottawa can spark some goals against Toronto. Like I said in our intro video, Toronto gives up goals. They tend to have high scoring affairs. So I think it's just play the guys that are going to play lots of minutes and, power play 1 as well. So Dodonov and Kachuk, and I think it's Brown is currently the projected center, but could swap before the night is up. And then I said this one in our last video, I'm going to keep with it. Montreal 2 versus Edmonton. I just like this line. I don't think they're going to increase in price unless they have an awesome first 3 nights of opening hockey here. But that's the Suzuki Druin line. And I like stacking them with Petrie. But how are you stack City in over there?
Well, we had like 1.5 of the same. I had Carolina 1, but only Aho Teravainen as a stack. And you went over it. I mean, they're going to beat up on the Wings, and easy game, I think, for them to put up 10 to 15 fantasy points each. They each pot a goal. The next one, this is where the 1.5 comes in. I had some conflicting info. I have Dadonov playing on the second line, so I had a stack with Stepan, Dadonov, and Stützle versus the Leafs. So if that's the case, I think like either way, I think you're safe with either one of them. Because as you said, the Leafs are always 7-6, 5-4, 5-3. No lead safe with them, which is part of the fun of watching their hockey games. Those were my 2 stacks of the night, though. I didn't really have much data yet to dive in on some other ones, and hopefully as these games go on here, we'll be able to get a little bit more familiar with who's playing where. But my happy hour special here tonight was not really, it's not a sleeper pick or anything, but just a machine, and that's Mika Zibanejad. I mean, playing with Buchnevich and Kreider on line one there, they have a lot of exciting lineups. They have Capo Caco on line two, Lafreniere in line three, are projected anyway. So they'll be a good team, and they're playing the Islanders. So Battle of New York. Probably won't get to see this one. I don't know if it'll be on, but might have to stream it. I think this one will be actually, we get to see Shesterkin or who's the other guy that the other goalie is? The other good one too.
Georgiev.
Yeah, Georgiev. Whichever either one of those play, we'll get to see. I just think the Rangers are actually going to be a lot better than people give them credit for. And they've had 2 high picks last year. They've still been great, and those top 2 lines have been great. They have some good young D-men too on their core. So he's my pick for my happy hour special.
Yeah. I went to the exact same team and the exact same game, but not with the exact same guy. I actually went with a D-man in here. I like Anthony DeAngelo. D-line 1, power play 1. This guy had an uptick season there last year. The defense in New York Rangers are kind of, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? They're not usually sought after too much in DFS, but this is one of the best decors for shooting and blocking shots and, points too. They see a lot of those secondary assists here. So I think DeAngelo playing on power play 1, that is one of the better power play units. And they have, I think Lafreniere is actually jumping up to play on power play 1, at least projected early. This team's good. They do have a tough matchup here. The Islanders are one of the better, slow paced, usually don't give up a ton of goals kind of defenses, but the Battle of New York always brings out the best of these two. And I think this is just a game to, throw in DeAngelo as one of your priority D-men and just kind of let him get the points through
another
power play.
Another D-man that you could pick on, swap out for DeAngelo in this one too, is Adam Fox.
Yeah.
Another great option to watch out for. And then, I think him and Trouba play power play 2 together if they do that. But I like Adam Fox personally more. He'll probably be cheaper as well. But yeah, New York quietly has some pretty good defensemen too. And I think Keandre Miller might make the team this year. He should be pretty exciting to watch too. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah. No, it should be a good 8-gamer. It'll be the first big one of the week, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for watching. And if you guys like it, give us a thumbs up, comment who you're picking, which teams you like this year, and if you have any good picks yourself. And if you really like it, give us a subscribe, and maybe me and Tarin will start going live for some games.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Peace.